Wonderful. Hello, good morning. Well, it's morning here for myself. I actually just got done teaching a class, so I'm in teaching mode, about to have the sun kill me during this class. And wanted to get to our YouTube video for today. I thought he was making his way over here. I'm looking at you, Fields. Nothing much to say aside from getting to the class. I have old Champion shorts on that I stole from someone at some point in some of my life, and I love them. Love the sweat shorts, my fave thing to wear. And just a normal Sanita bra. But I like this bra because you can clasp it in the back, and it fits really nicely, and I like a nude color. So I'll link them all down there as well. I knew he was gonna do this. Here he comes. So I asked on my Instagram last week, and if you're not following me on there, you should be following me on there. It's April_Yog. I always say because April_Yoga was taken, that's not the most basic yoga name you try to find for Instagram. And at this point, I'm never changing that handle because everything's taken. Or I'm not cool enough to think of a new handle. Anyways, so I asked on there last week if most people wanted to see a yin yang class or a neck and shoulders class, or yoga for neck and shoulders. And neck and shoulders totally won. This is a strap. So we're gonna do neck and shoulders, and you don't need anything. I will do my best to give you options without the props, but if you do have a strap or a block or something similar to that, I definitely suggest grabbing it. And I know you, I see you, because I'm also the person that rolls my eyes when I start a YouTube class and there's a million props, but it's good for us. It's good for me at least, so maybe it's good for you too. So roll your eyes, do your thing, but you're gonna be really excited to see what we're gonna do. You're gonna be, okay. You're going to be really excited to see what we do with the strap. We're doing yoga. You cannot bark. Thank you. Okay, grab your block, grab your strap. And we're actually going to get started in a seat today. We'll be in a seat for a good portion of the start of class since we are focusing on our neck and shoulders. So if you want a pillow or something while you find a seat, go ahead and grab that here too, and we'll get this stuff going. Once you find the seat of your choosing, whether it's crisscross applesauce, legs extended out nice and long, or perhaps you're sitting on the block that you grabbed and or a pillow, give yourself a moment. You'll let your shoulders drop heavy away from the ears, unclench your jaw. Let your hands just rest where it feels best, so where you find comfort. And take one of those aha breaths, right? Aha, it's done, let it go, breathe it in. And just let it go. Start fresh, start with this new breath. Begin to bring yourself into your practice space any way that you need to. Now you have 2 more steady breaths here at your own pace, so allow yourself to start on empty. And I want you to fill your capacity with this next breath in, your diaphragm, your belly, your ribs, your lung, fill it up. And then exhale, let it go. And we got 1 more just like that. Big breath in, fill it up. Exhale, let it go. Now let's do 2 rounds of our box breathing here together. So we'll stay on empty, empty breath, empty belly. And you're gonna find that first breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. You pause. Now let's find that nice slow exhale here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay empty. We got our last round here, my friends. Breath in with me. 4, 3, 2, 1. You pause. You're cute. Nice slow exhale here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay empty. Now this is the space we hold, right? Hold that empty space. Feel your core contract. Give yourself a moment to trust yourself here for 3, for 2. Big breath in on 1. Breathe it right back in. Part your lips, sigh, let it go. Maybe I just need another one of those, but I'm going to invite you to do the same. Big breath in. Let it go. Gently flutter your eyes open. Hello, welcome to your practice. So like I said, we'll be in a seat for most of it. We'll find tabletop for a little, and because it's nice to end on our back, we'll end on our back here too. But yeah, so stay comfy in your seat. And what I'm gonna ask of you first is to grab your block. Let's start with our right hand. So you're gonna grab your block, I'd say on like the second setting. Actually, an instructor I just started working with, she calls this hamburger setting, hot dog setting. I'm like, that's hilarious. So I used to call it like second height, but we're gonna call it hot dog setting because that sounds way cooler. So hot dog setting with the block in your right hand. You're gonna notice the more you kind of heel toe that block out, the more sensation, the more stretch, the more depth you're gonna feel. And if that's too much, you simply just bring this block right back in, right? This block is used to help you find rest as you focus on your neck, but it's also there to help you find more intensity if that's what you're looking for too. So I'm gonna start with my block a little bit further out, heel toe it out a little bit there, keep your hand resting on it, and then we're just dropping that right ear to your right shoulder. Or I'm sorry, the left ear to your left shoulder. What the heck? You're gonna feel a much deeper stretch that way. So we're dropping our left ear to our left shoulder. And you'll kind of get the gist, right? So you have the opposition, you have your right hand pulling towards the right side of your mat with it resting on the block, but then you slightly have the crown of your head chasing the imaginary like left corner of the air here, and that's gonna help you find that stretch here for the right side of your neck. Now, of course, I'm doing the talking. You get the privilege of not doing the talking. So once you have settled into this pose, unclench your jaw a little bit. Remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Relax the entire face, all the face muscles. Let them relax here for a breath or two. And it could feel good to just stay still, right? This is doing plenty, if not just enough for a majority of people. But if you're itching for a little bit more, I sometimes invite myself to tuck my chin towards my chest. I slightly gaze up towards the ceiling. Again, different strokes for different folks, so you test out what makes sense for you, and that's where I want you to take this. Maybe your last 2 or 3 steady breaths here. Good. Go ahead and come back towards center. Bring your right hand to rest inside your laps in some way, inside your lap in one way, shape, or form. Give yourself a breath in, sit up tall. Exhale, let it go. Now we're going to take this block, bring it to the left side, and you kind of have the vibe. You kind of have the gist of what we're doing with this left side. So allow yourself to find the length that feels best as you heel toe that block towards the left side of your space. Once you find the length that feels best for the left side of your space, we're going to gently drop that right ear to our right shoulder. And I like to refer to it kind of as like the in-between. I may have already spoken to this in a class or two, but the in-between from one pose to the next, right? So oftentimes I see and I feel that people might feel pressure to stay in a specific range that they find when they first find that movement, and that couldn't be more like further from the truth. So I call it like the in-between. So we find this next side, right? Maybe something doesn't feel good. Maybe you have to bring the block in a little bit more than you did on the right side. That's okay. Maybe you have more depth to explore on this left side. So maybe you're crawling that hand a little bit further away from your thigh, and that's okay too. So kind of the in-between where you get the fidgets out, where you find out what works on this side, and then you tune back into that space. Like myself here, my knees have had it with teaching all week and finding crisscross applesauce, so I am going to move to extend my legs out nice and long. And we've been here for a moment on this side, yeah, so eventually, hopefully you've made the movements that you like, whether it's the chin to the chest, gaze up towards the ceiling. But just in case, wrap up what you need to on this side with your last 2 breaths. Wonderful. This time, both hands come inside your lap. I'm going to turn so you can see my posture, because I like to emphasize I quite literally lose my posture for this next portion we'll do for our neck. So I'm like really sunk in here, right? Chin towards my chest. See my back rounding, finding that curvature in the spine. The spine. And we're just shaking the head left to right. I low-key love doing this. I just feel like it feels so good for the back of your neck. Good. Next breath in, roll the shoulders away from your ears. Sit up nice and tall. Bring a smile to your face. And exhale, let that go. Now you have some time here, a few complete rotations. Gaze up, gaze down. I always like to encourage you to switch out your rotation. So meaning if you have the tendency to lean right or lean left every time you start these rounds, maybe switch it up a little bit and see how that feels. Just a couple more moments here. Remember to relax the jaw if you can. Good. Go ahead and come back towards center. Inhale those arms up nice and high. Let's find some length for our sides. Now you let an exhale bring you right back through heart center. Sorry, I have to say this. I quite literally want to pick up my phone and show you what's going on because my bathroom is right here. I wonder because it's getting so hot here in the summer. Fielder's new thing is laying on the bathroom and perching his head on this little shelf thing, and I can't handle it. I literally can't handle it. We got 2 more like that, my friends. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, heart center. 1 more like that. Big breath in. Exhale, bring it on through. Beautiful. I'm coming back to face you guys, my friends. We're going to get into a strap, so go ahead and grab your strap. But just kidding, let me do one more thing and then we'll have more range to do the movement I want to do here. So I'm going to, again, face or have you guys look at my back. Let's bring our right hand on our lower back, some way, or our mid back rather, definitely not our lower back, some way, shape, or form. Left hand's going to catch your right elbow. I want you to literally feel your left hand, pull your right elbow up towards the ceiling, breath in with that, and then you exhale, side lean over towards your left. Wonderful way to get into the triceps here a little bit. And I naturally tuck my chin towards my chest and just gaze down towards the ground. Nice. Let's gently switch that out. Sometimes I just kind of cruise around my shoulders, moving left, moving right. And then that left hand's going to find that mid back. Right hand, left elbow, quite literally pull that elbow up, feel your length, find your length, and then exhale, lean to the right. Subtle awareness into your sit bones here too, yeah. So think of grounding down into that left sit bone. Good. Inhale back towards center. Arms go up nice and tall this time. Roll out your wrist. And actually, while we're here, bring your hands behind you. Drive your knuckles down. Your knuckles might even touch the ground. So you're opening up your chest, your heart, your collarbones, your shoulders for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Bring it back towards center. Are you done with your bathroom nap? Okay, bye. Just move a little bit. Ooh, something's popping in my left shoulder. It's fine. Okay, now the strap. I do my best to explain this because I absolutely love how this feels for my shoulder and my side body. But of course, watch me up here too. Your left hand is going to be your anchor, meaning your left hand is going to grab this strap and it is going to have tension with this strap. Your right hand, you're going to pull, 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 pull until you have just enough that it is firm. So you might have to fidget a little bit right at the in-between. You have just enough that it is firm, but we're gonna make some sweeping motions here, which I will talk through, but you want enough space to quite literally do this, okay? So left hand, your anchor, right hand is grabbing your strap, little tension here, and we link it breath to movement. So look at me, look towards the screen, right? And then when you find an inhale, this right hand goes up, up, overhead, and you're also gonna gaze up towards the ceiling. Now you might not go as far as I'm going, which is okay. You could quite literally be here, that's fine. You're just looking for that tension that you can pull that strap with to get into your shoulders and also lengthen out that right side. So you're gazing up, you're breathing, you're pulling, and you're anchoring here. And we're gonna hold and linger for a few moments for this first round, but then we're gonna find more breath to movement here too. Now, when you think of finding this next exhale, I want you to think of punching like the front of your space. So you punch the front of your space with this right knuckle and then tuck your chin towards your chest. And like this is a big old wing, you're gonna inhale, sweep up, gaze up. Exhale, punch the air. I don't know why that's the first example I thought of, but here we are. One more inhale, gaze up. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. And let's cruise on over towards this right side. Take a moment. Right hand is our anchoring point this time. I tend to just kind of firmly press my palm on the ground. So it's kind of in the middle of my palm. Extend, extend, extend with your left hand with this strap. So you have some tension, but you have enough space to make that movement, right? So on this next breath in, go ahead and let yourself gaze up towards the ceiling. Pull your left hand back. Breathe into that shoulder. Learning to not do these during the morning because that's when like all the dogs in the neighborhood are so like amp, and it makes fielders so amped. Stay here, linger, reach through your left side. Breathe into that left shoulder. 3, 2. Now exhale, tuck and round. Push your left hand forward. 2 more. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we push. We got our last round here. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we push. Wonderful. Go ahead and come back towards center. Just like take a moment, find a breath, reset, recenter. Wonderful. Awesome. Let's make it to a tabletop pose. Doo-doo. So you're going to find this tabletop pose. Why did I just say doo-doo? Tabletop pose. Just some cat-cows. Move around. Shimmy the shoulders, barrel roll the belly. And actually, I'll kind of look at you to see if you can see kind of what my front is looking like, because I love this and I think it really gets into the shoulders. So you need to like bend your elbows and just let yourself move and groove. Straighten the arms, puff up the shoulder blades. Kind of just like you're pulling yourself through, maybe linger for a little bit. Be natural in these movements for a couple rounds. Thank you, my love. Beautiful. Bring it back towards center. Toes pose. Tuck the toes. Have a home on your heels here. Might as well stretch out the toes while we do one more thing for the neck, right? And of course, if this is too much, untuck the toes. Have a home on your shins as well. But if you're in toes pose with me, try to think of gluing those inner ankles together. Roll the shoulders away. And we'll do one more thing here for the neck. Let me actually move up a little bit just to make sure you can see me. Bind your hands behind you. Left knuckle's gonna be on top. I'm actually gonna do it this way. Let your hands come towards your right hip crease. And then again, we're dropping actually the right ear to the right shoulder this time. And just see how that feels for a moment. You'll notice when you collapse the hands together and kind of pull them towards the right side, you're gonna get a deeper sensation for that neck. Now drive the knuckles down, switch which thumb you have on top, so the right thumb's on top, and then the hands find your left hip crease. Left ear is gonna drop towards your left shoulder. Move around, breathe. Good, one more time, knuckles all the way down, gaze up, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Off the toes, if you held that with me, tap them a little bit on the mat here. And then when you're ready from our tabletop pose, let's just move this right into our puppy pose. So hips and knees stay just as they are. Let's crawl those hands towards the top of your space and let your head just rest in between the arms. Come back to the fullness of your breath, right? So big, full inhales through your sides, through your spine, through your shoulders. And your exhale melts you back into that space. Keeping your third eye on the mat, or you can tuck your chin towards the mat here too. And we have a couple moments to explore, a couple moments to settle in, so hone in on your breath. Good, give me 2 or 3 more here. And when you finish this last round, go ahead and just sink it back to a child's pose. So let your hips drop heavy towards your heels. Maybe you shake your head left, shake your head right for a moment or two. Feel that newfound freedom in your back body, your shoulder blades, your spine, your sides. Good. From your child's pose, crawl your hands on top of your thighs. From that, you're going to come into like a malasana, a little yogi squat, and we're really just using this to find a forward fold, okay? So yogi squat, forward fold, back of your mat, probably top of your mat, just I guess it depends on where you are in your space. And we're just using this to let the torso get heavy. Hands are chasing the ground beneath you, crown of the head is heavy, you have a deep bend in your knees, protect your lower back. And to add a deeper sensation for the neck, I want you to interlace your hands at the nape of your neck. Let the forearms chase your temples, temples chase your forearms. And still sway, still move. Maybe you play around with gazing up towards like that left armpit, towards the right armpit. Maybe it feels good finding little pulses of your head back towards your shin. We're here for a good time, not for a long time. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice and full, nice and lifted, nice flat back. Exhale, find that fold. Now inhale, halfway lift, look towards the top of your space, crawl to the top of your space. We're gonna find a plank pose, and it's gonna lead us into our belly. So no worries, we're not here for too long. But find that plank pose, nice and slow with your lower for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. A little shoulder stretch here. I'm gonna give you the choice. If you want to get more into the shoulder, you're going to extend your left arm. We're gonna start with the left because that's the arm you can see first. You're gonna extend your left arm towards the left edge of your mat. I want you to look at your left arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist. They're in line with one another. This is gonna open up your shoulders more. If you want more of that tricep stretch, you can always cactus your arm as well. And you wanna make sure the shoulder and the elbow are in line with one another. I'm gonna give you the choice to go into whichever one you want to, either the tricep stretch or your shoulder stretch. Once you determine that, right hand under your right shoulder, and you're gonna kick that right foot up and over. Head can stay on the mat, or you can always bring the block under your head as well if the ground is just too far away. If you're able to ground down into the right foot behind you, focus more so on opening up that right knee. And if it's kind of just floating in space, that is also more than okay too. Just let it stay nice and heavy behind you. And just a couple rounds here. Shut down the eyes, find your breath. Now gently roll back towards center. We're gonna take a moment in Sphinx pose before we switch. So forearms come to the mat. Inhale, pull your chest through, gaze up. And as you exhale again, option to move into the neck if you need more of that. You might find yourself kicking your feet up towards the sky, windshield wiper left, windshield wiper right. And bring it down when you're ready. Right arm's going to either extend out nice and long, or you goal post, you cactus. Right cheek is gonna find the mat, push into that left hand, kick and reach through that left foot. Coming back to your breath as you feel that rotation through your torso. Feel your hips slightly stack. Feel your shoulders stack here. Couple more rounds, nice and easy. Gently press your right palm into the ground beneath you. Gentle press of the left fingertips here too. Couple more rounds here. If you are not a dog fan, you should just not watch my YouTube videos because this is just never going to stop. If you're not a dog fan, I guess I'm kind of somewhat still okay with you, but do you not love love? Okay, come back towards center. Oh my goodness. My mic died 3 minutes before class is over, so I'm just gonna start without the mic and I'm gonna freaking scream here. So sorry, as we're like mellowing out and ending class. We're gonna come to our backs. And when you come to your back, I want you to grab your block. You're gonna find a bridge pose, so we're gonna find supported bridge with the block, so hike your hips on up. It's gonna be on that second setting, that hot dog setting that we talked about. And you're really just finding a space on your sacrum that feels nice and comfortable. If this is too high, you can always do the lower setting here as well. But you just find a space that works. We're not here for too long. Just since we have not done much for the lower half, I thought it'd feel nice as we end class to show some attention to the lower half. And I just love when my own hips are elevated most of the time, so give yourself a moment to elevate your hips here. Hands wherever it feels best, so whether they're on the belly, if you need to focus, if you're trying to be more present, hands on the belly could feel best. If you want to take up some space, let those arms go out towards the left, towards the right. And you're here with your breath. Breathe into the hips. Unclench your jaw, bring a smile to your face, enjoy the stillness here. And at least 3 or 4 big, full, deep breaths. Now let's find our last breath together in this supported bridge. So big, full belly breath in. And you let it go. Now we're going to move to a legs up the wall. I like to use the block for my legs up the wall. That by no means that you need to keep this block under your sacrum. But I like, again, the added elevation for my hips. I like the height that it provides with my legs up the wall. But you find the one that works best for you. If you're removing the block, of course, just bring your feet back to the mat, hike up those hips. Maybe find a little bend in your knees for your legs up the wall. Rod the ankles, point and flex the toes. If you're wanting any more from this space, you're already in a perfect position to hike up into that shoulder stance. So your hands will grab your hip bones, those back pockets, so to speak, and let your feet get heavy and behind you. Now, I can't go too much further because I have a chair right there, but you can let your feet go super, super heavy. Maybe the toes touch the ground, or that's just the general direction that they go in. And of course, that can lead into bending your knees. Knees can chase the temple there. Just your last few moments to unwind before we enter Savasana. And of course, if you're using the block, be very careful when you come down so your sacrum is not getting beat up by that block when you settle back in. But my friends, when you are ready, let's slowly enter our final and most important resting pose, right? Our Savasana pose. I'm going to suggest Supta Baddha Konasana legs, so butterfly legs, meaning soles of the feet are together, knees go out nice and wide. And then maybe the hands can rest on the belly, maybe the hands kind of just rest on the edges of the mat. But it could feel nice to let the hips get some space since we had so much focus on our upper body today. And we're going to do one more breath to settle in. So find a big full breath in, breath in, breath in. Hold at your top a little bit more. Now let it go. Find your Savasana here. And as always, forever and always encouraging you to stay in your Savasana pose as long as you can. Maybe set a timer for a couple minutes here. Thank you for allowing me to bring a different vibe to the end of class since my mic died. Lessons learned. And yeah, stay here, enjoy this, breathe in this new space, relish as long as you can. And as always, as I said previously that you cannot hear, thank you for supporting me in any way, shape, or form that you're able to. Thank you for sharing these, for subscribing, for sending to friends, and shoot me some ideas. Throw me your ideas. You help me stay motivated to do this when you provide things that you genuinely want to see and movements that you genuinely want to learn. And I'm more than happy to provide what I'm able to here as well. So it's so good to practice with you. I'll see you next week. Stay connected, say what's up, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend or rest of your week ahead. Peace.